Tonight, an ABC miniseries. Our future is in the hands of an American terrorist.
Detonation will now occur in 30 seconds.
They won't be able to stop this.
Now, the entire nation is heading towards nuclear annihilation.
How did this happen?
And there's no way we can stop it.
Take the kids and get in the car.
Oh, God. You are looking at your worst nightmare, and I am looking at mine.
The end is near. And now, the explosive conclusion of Medusa's Child.
No, we're gonna need it. Scott, the tower! We're gonna make it, man. He's gonna hit! He's gonna hit! Brace for impact. Scott, get this on the deck right now. Runway stop. Go around. Go around. My God, he's on a runway! Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Rotate. You got speed. Rotate. Get it up. Get it up. Pull it up. Nose up. Climb, baby. Climb. Come on. Come on. Come on. Close up, Scotty! Scotty! Gear up. Gear up. Gear up. 130 knots and rising.
Okay. Give me a clearance out west, south, anywhere but here. We're not doing that a second time.
Vivian! We couldn't land.
Rogers Henry just shot himself.
It's on the TV. Someone just leaked the story.
BCA sources have been monitoring ground-to-air communications, and we can confirm that the FBI believes the Scott Air flight to be carrying a nuclear device secreted in its cargo. There have been instances
what we need, a national
by the
panic.
White House and other government agencies, but BCA sources tell us that the nuclear device aboard Scott Air 50 is set to go off in a
Jerry's
little
on
more
that
than 2.5
flight.
hours from now. BCA has also discovered that the type of weapon aboard this aircraft is one that which, if exploded over or near a modern society, would not only kill several million people, but this weapon would also attack our economy, devastating all computer systems, all computer-based banking and financing, communications, and even the television network you're watching at this moment.
Great. Great stuff. Hey, it's information. It's our job.
It had to break. There's been too much activity at PAX.
Pax is out. This guy's a crack pilot. He couldn't put it down. Storm's moving north fast. Should be past Seymour Johnson by the time they have to land it. We're evacuating the base now. The minute they land, we bring in a C-141, fly the thing out.
We may not be able to move the device or the woman.
Then we emulate the signal in her pacemaker, get her off, put our pilots on, fly it out over the Atlantic. They jump and blow it.
Fallout?
Well, it depends on how far out we get.
They almost crashed at PAX. They're heading them to Seymour Johnson. Give me the weather at Seymour.
Autopilot on.
Okay, here's the deal. They want us to fly to Seymour Johnson.
They have a plan. They always do. We're not in on it. I don't like it, but the situation's controlling us.
Well, let's review what we got. First of all, the device can be a dud.
Not an option. I'm not taking that chance.
Okay. The FBI can track down the good doctor and just beat the codes out of him. Or 3, we could saw it open and start pulling wires.
Hey, you're right.
I see us at 4. No word from the mad scientist. No way to stop the countdown. We got to get it to the experts who can.
Yeah, that's right. So let's do it.
Well, what if they can't stop it?
4A. We can't open our door in flight. We transfer the thing to a C-141. They got a back door. They fly it out, drop it in the sea. Population saved.
Population, that's my wife and kids.
Well, then there's Vivian Henry. She can't get more than 15 feet away from the thing or it explodes. We know he's tracking. The only question is he going to give us another warning before it?
Yeah, I think he would. The SOB wants to torture her. He ends it, she's out of her misery. He's going to keep warning her and warning her.
You know, I hate to bring this up, but we're all assuming Vivian is some innocent victim. Nobody's brought up the alternative.
No way, I don't buy it.
Why not? She brought the thing on board. We're going to be all analytical about her position. We might as well think about all the alternatives.
Your fiancé is transporting a thermonuclear device at 33,000 feet. The entire eastern seaboard of the United States is being put at risk. Now do you see our problem?
The problem is that you don't listen. He told Vivian it was a mock-up. She called me, she had no idea what was going on, and she was scared to death.
Doesn't it strike you as peculiar that Mrs. Henry's engaged to you? Yet when her ex-husband calls, whom you say she detested, asks her to deliver a piece of machinery to the Pentagon, she goes along and does it?
No. See, it's not peculiar if you know her. She pitied him, all right? He was dying. It was his last request. But she would never do anything like this to her own country.
I'm very touched, Mr. Cooper. But let's cut to it. What exactly does Vivian Henry want? Or is she suicidal?
I think you better call this number.
Tony, listen. The guy our people are questioning in Florida, Dean Cooper. Tom Braden at CIA called me. There's no breach. Our people in Miami called Langley.
What the hell for? This is not a
Hold on,
CIA
I'm not
operation.
in. The call was made at Cooper's request.
What is going on?
Cooper was CIA. He left the agency 5 years ago to go into the communications business.
Oh, come on.
He wasn't an operative. He was a systems analyst. They were as surprised as you to hear from him. Anyway, he says the Henry woman is not involved. He wants permission to contact her.
This is a lousy situation, and I am not sure we're not all being manipulated. Now you're telling me that Dean Cooper is CIA and
But I don't think they're walking on our turf here. They trust the guy. They don't know about the woman, but they think he may be able to help us. I don't know. Think about it, file it away, use it if you need it.
Why the Pentagon?
Because the man responsible for killing the Medusa project is sitting in the Pentagon. Stanley Shapiro, Secretary of Defense.
If his prime target was the Pentagon, then why all the stuff with the wife?
It's a smokescreen. It's supposed to look like she's the victim.
Bill, what are your ideas on this?
Sir, she waged a one-woman campaign to get the government to reinstate her husband's project. She lobbied Capitol Hill, wrote hostile letters.
Oh, you gotta hear this. I got a cargo supervisor on the line from Miami. He said he was threatened today by Vivian Henry.
Yes, sir. What exactly did Mrs. Henry say to you?
She was like crazy. I mean, first she's this nice, gentle lady, and then she starts threatening me.
What did she say, sir?
Oh, she was talking about good news and bad news and how she's going to put me out of business. And then she looks at me real direct. And she said, I will personally see to it that you regret the day you mishandled my cargo. Like we did it just to get her or something.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that information. Okay. Okay, we're going to move on this as if Vivian Henry is our prime target. Now, she could be in that cockpit, so we have to be careful. We're not going to tell her that her husband is dead. If she panics, it could be a mess.
Okay, John, what's the problem?
We want to change the plan. We need that weapon.
No, it's out of the question.
Look, Stan, Years ago, you were the one who canceled the Medusa project. You have to step up to that. If you hadn't canceled it, we'd know what we were dealing with here.
I was following the president's orders.
I understand that, but now we have a different president. He might not agree with that decision. So let's play this right. If Rogers Henry succeeded in creating a Medusa effect weapon, let's get inside it, see how it works.
We don't even know...
Which is why we have to try to salvage it by defusing it instead of dumping it in the ocean.
You want to play a game of chicken with an armed thermonuclear weapon on U.S. soil? What if you can't defuse it?
Look, you know we have contingency plans. We'll be wiring it with explosives even while the disposal squad is trying to defuse it. If they can't defuse it, they'll detonate the explosives and destroy the trigger.
Suppose the clock is lying. What if it goes off early, kills millions of people in North Carolina, and devastates our economy when we could have set it off safely in the Atlantic? Do you want to risk that, John? Just to study it?
If you'd have studied it when you had the chance, we wouldn't have to make this decision. How would we stand?
What the hell is going on? Why hasn't anyone gotten to Rogers Henry?
Scott, you're certain Mrs. Henry can't hear us?
Yes. What is up with you people?
I'm telling you this in confidence. Under no circumstances are you to give this information to Vivian Henry.
Go ahead.
Rogers Henry committed suicide 30 minutes ago. Scott, I need to know if you or your crew are under any duress. Just a yes or no will do.
No, absolutely not. I don't like where this is going, Tony.
I understand.
No, you don't. This woman is an innocent victim of her ex-husband's insanity.
Well, that may be so, Scott, but then I don't know if she's got a weapon on you at this moment.
Crying out loud, Tony.
Look, I'm taking what you say at face value, but there are a few things you need to know. Number one, she took that weapon aboard your plane willingly, knowing her husband was a nut. Why didn't she refuse?
Maybe he's an animal in bed. How the hell should I know?
She threatened a cargo supervisor.
That's why you went back for her, correct?
And when you were in a holding pattern over D.C., she pressured you to land at Washington National.
She had made arrangements. She was just...
Yes. Those arrangements were to take that bomb to the Pentagon. And consider this. While they were married, he was working on the project in their barn. Do you really believe she didn't know anything about it?
Tony? Yes, sir?
I'll get back to you.
I was right, wasn't I? You're thinking the same thing I am.
Looks that way.
So what are we gonna do?
I gotta work on that, Jerry. Both you and the FBI could be wrong.
Oh, yeah, we must be wrong because you don't agree. Jerry, you got a serious problem with pressure.
No. I'm the only one who sees what's going on here. And the FBI...
Enough!
You do have a problem with pressure. And you fly the plane.
What's going on with you, huh?
What, a nuclear bomb strapped to my butt isn't enough?
Your butt was on fire before you came in this morning. Before anything happened.
My husband is on Scott Air Flight 50. I have to talk to him.
All contact with the plane is being controlled through the FBI.
Then put me through to the FBI. I have a right to talk to my husband.
I'm sorry, ma'am. We can't help you any further.
I just want to talk to Jerry. I can be so pig-headed sometimes. He had to fly with Scott. If he hadn't blown the job with American, this never would have...
He didn't blow the American job, Patty. He wasn't up to it.
How can you say that? What do you know about it?
I know that Jerry is a great flight engineer. I also know that that isn't good enough for you. Your father was a pilot, and you won't accept anything less than your husband.
Jerry wants to be a pilot.
No, honey. He's happy doing what he does. But he knows you're not, and he wants to please you.
I don't push him.
Yes, you do. You don't want the kids to see you like this. Jerry's going to be just fine. They said they had everything under control.
Mom, I did something terrible. Jerry and I...
You had a fight.
It was more than a fight. I said some terrible things. I was just so mad and disappointed about the American job. And he phoned, and I didn't pick up the phone. This is the first time I ever let him take off without talking to me first.
Honey, take responsibility for what's yours and leave the rest alone. This didn't happen because you let Jerry get on a flight without saying goodbye to him. We don't have that kind of power, sweetheart. If we did, we could prevent anything bad from happening. It's gonna be all right.
Gentlemen. So, Stanley, we're in agreement on the changes. I appreciate your support.
Please sit down. Is everyone all set? Yes. All right, Jim, let's go. Good afternoon. Do you read me?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Now, John, the original plan was to fly this thing out over the Atlantic and dump it.
Mr. President.
Now, wait a second. Now you're trying to talk me into letting you defuse it.
We need the technology.
If it goes off on the ground at Seymour, it could incinerate close to 1 million people and contaminate a huge radius.
Mr. President, we don't believe we're taking any risks. Our people are trained to handle this kind of a situation. If it really is the Medusa weapon, we must have that technology.
General, you're talking about a Medusa wave. I am talking about killing a whole lot of innocent men, women, and children and traumatizing the entire nation. Is it worth that much of a risk?
Sir, if Rogers Henry came up with the Medusa, you can be sure that there are scientists in Ukraine and all over the third world about to make that same breakthrough. Now, that said, we would be risking the future of this country and the free world if we did not seize this opportunity.
All right, John, I'm going to give you some room on this. But I am going to keep the other option open. I want a C-141 on the ground and ready to go at Seymour. If you can't turn this damn thing off, you will fly it out over the Atlantic and dump it.
We'll scramble the C-141 out of Charleston right away, sir.
Stanley, we have a history with this Rogers Henry, don't we?
Yes, sir. He headed up the Medusa project at Los Alamos. The then president ordered the project dismantled. In retrospect, we could say it was a bad call.
Yes, well, I wish we could all take back our bad calls, Stan. Now, listen to me, John. You are not to push this diffusing effort 1 inch past certainty. Is that clear?
Very clear.
Very well. Good luck, gentlemen.
Do you have any blankets? That poor woman is freezing back there.
Is she?
Is she freezing or is she a poor woman? You have doubts?
The FBI sure does.
Well, I expect that. They're not here. They're dealing blind and they're bureaucrats. What's your excuse?
Look, I don't think it's true. But Tony made some valid points. I mean, she was living with the guy. How come she didn't notice he was building a nuclear bomb?
How do I know?
Exactly.
You know, guys like you really piss me off. You almost crashed your only plane in a hurricane, but when some jerk from the FBI puts a bug in your ear...
Guys like me. You know, if I ever said women like you piss me off, you'd have me up on charges. You don't know anything about me. And you don't know what I'm thinking till I want you to know.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I know I have a tendency to push people's buttons. But you're suggesting that...
I'm not suggesting. I'm trying to work out a tough call.
I know. And you need to do that without my input. This is the last time that we misunderstand each other.
I doubt that.
Hey, Gracie, what are you doing?
Tony DiStefano, please.
This is Jerry Cornell, Scott Air 50.
Yeah, Jerry.
Tony, I need to speak to my wife.
I
can't do that, Jerry. We're in the middle of a crisis here.
I understand that, sir, but
Look, if you have a message for her, I'll deliver it personally. That's about the best I can do.
okay, she's at her mother's in Baltimore.
The number is...
We know it, Jerry.
Okay, tell her to take the kids.
And her mother to go to my parents' house.
Get off the East Coast.
I understand, Jerry. I'll take care of it. Anything else?
Yeah. I love her. Tell her that for me, okay?
Okay, Jerry.
We had a fight.
Well, that just means y'all are still together.
I could use someone to fight with.
There's no response at Patty Carnell's house or her mother's.
Sir, on line 6.
Punch it up for me, would you, Bob? Step it out.
Yes, I'm Clarence Blocker.
I worked with...
I know who you are, Dr. Parker.
How can we help you?
Well, I was wondering if I could help you. Rogers Henry trusts me.
I got a calling for you. Maybe he'd talk to me.
Dr. Barker.
Rogers Henry is dead.
Oh, God. And actually, I was about to call you.
Maybe you could give us some notes on Los Alamos.
Some letters from Rogers Henry. Anything?
They can give us a handle on this device.
I'll go through everything I have.
Great.
When we land, you have to get out.
I think we should all get out. Don't you?
Mm-mm. I know Rogers. I know how this is going to end. And I'm responsible. I brought this in here.
Vivian, did you have any part in making this thing? Did you know what it was when you brought it on board? Why are you taking responsibility?
Because I should have known. The FBI thinks I'm in on it, don't they? I don't blame them. Have they found Rogers? He's dead, isn't he? That's why they haven't been able to contact him.
As the FBI were about to get him, he killed himself.
All the years I prayed for that. He's dead. And he's still here. If Rogers doesn't want this stopped, it won't be. He knew all the tricks. Well, he invented most of them. Without him, they won't be able to stop this.
Since the BCA News broadcast revealing the potential for a possible nuclear holocaust, people have been pouring out of their homes and onto the highway. They have thrown
We need
clothes,
confirmation.
furniture, memorabilia,
Perhaps you could find someone who could tell me that.
into their cars and are heading west.
Dr. Jensen, what can we advise people to do?
If we get a true continent-wide Medusa wave, there are very few things we can do in a few hours. Effectively, the silicon chips in most systems are going to melt.
But our entire society is based on computers.
Well, exactly. But in terms of communication, broadcasting, telephones, it's great.
So we go stone deaf.
Except for
Banks and stock exchange are backing up and burying the tapes as deep as they can.
Yeah? Better get your ATM.
They're already down. What's that, Ian? We're shutting down transportation. Bridges, major dams.
Hold it. The president's going to address the nation. 6 minutes.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Here we go from the embassy.
Good afternoon. My fellow Americans, I am speaking to you from the American Embassy here in London. I assume by now most of you are aware of the situation aboard Scott Air 50. Briefly, a suspected nuclear device allegedly capable of delivering a continent-wide electromagnetic pulse is at this moment being flown over the eastern seaboard of the United States. As president, I have from time to time spoken to you directly and candidly concerning issues which tested the character or moral fiber of our nation, and you have always risen to those challenges. But today, we are facing perhaps our greatest challenge. I will not pretend that the situation isn't grave, because it truly is, but I do want to assure you that we are meeting it with intelligence, with compassion, and with courage. My first priority, of course, as president, is the security of our nation and the safety of all of our people. In that regard, I want to assure every American and all of our friends and neighbors in the Western Hemisphere, as well as our allies around the world, that we do have this situation well under control. We have taken many precautions, but they are just that, precautions. And we fully expect that if this device is real, we can successfully defuse it. In closing, I want to commend all of you for remaining calm, and I ask your prayers for all of those men and women who are working at this moment to resolve this crisis. Thank you. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America.
My name is Patty Carnell. My husband is on that plane, and I want to talk to him.
Thank you, Jim.
Spoke to the First Lady. She sends you her love and her prayers, but she won't evacuate. She feels if she leaves the White House, it would create a panic.
I figured you'd say that. How are the naval evacuations going?
The Atlantic is being cleared of all vessels, including subs. Everyone's cooperating to the fullest.
Scott! The computer is reeling off more warnings.
What now?
By now, the military have made plans to move this device and detonate it. I anticipated that and have engineered this device to detect an emotion. This is not, I repeat, this is not a standard military device. Any attempt to move it, to explode the trigger, or burn it will result in instant detonation.
He claims it can detect motion. But we've moved in every direction. It still thinks it's in the Pentagon.
So what does that give us?
Well, I could probably throw it out the window, kick it down the stairs, and it couldn't tell the difference.
You have now 1 hour and 59 minutes to evacuate the area around the Pentagon and Washington, D.C.
You said Rogers never bluffed, and you may be right. But this device is malfunctioning.
Let's see if it is malfunctioning.
No, Vivian, the sensor for the pacemaker may not be the same thing.
Let's see. Did you do something wrong? Did you screw up? You know where I am? Find me. Yes, you bastard, you blew it!
Vivian Henry has moved more than 15 feet from me in violation of my orders. To avoid immediate detonation, she must physically touch this device in the next 15 seconds.
Vivian.
Vivian!
Your return has been detected, Vivian, but you disobeyed me. Detonation will now occur in 30 seconds. You made a fatal mistake. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21.
Miss Rogers.
20. 19. 18.
Vivian.
17.
What's going on back there?
15. 14.
Vivian, do something. No.
11.
Just a bluff.
He's gotta stop. He's not bluffing. You heard what he said.
Just calm
8.
down.
7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. 0.
Ooh. How did you know?
This maniac is becoming predictable. You okay?
Don't confuse his need to torment me with this. This is a live weapon.
Listen, the military method of disposal, burning or exploding the trigger, it won't work with this device. This is not a military nuke.
I don't think we should be talking
Over this line, Scott. We know it's not secure.
Yeah, well, we have no choice. Now, the last screen message said that this thing has a specially designed trigger. Okay, and if anyone tried to burn or explode it, it'll set off the nuclear reaction. Now, you've got to tell them that they have to come up with another option.
It's in place. The president ordered a C-141 standing by to fly it out if they can't defuse it.
Tony, you're not hearing me. They cannot even attempt to defuse this thing. Now, Vivian believes this man was more than capable of creating this specialized trigger. Now, I want assurance from whoever is in control at Seymour that they will not tinker with this bomb. They'll have a disaster beyond your imagination. Am I making myself clear?
Scott,
I will personally see to it that the commander knows all of your concerns.
you have my word. Let's just get you on the ground.
All right, now here's the deal. When we land, I want Dr. McCoy and my 2 officers immediately removed from the plane. I am not moving until Vivian Henry is safely removed from the weapon.
Copy that. You say that Vivian Henry is still in the back of the plane.
Is she in any way dictating or making suggestions to you?
Tony, enough! We have already discussed this.
Scott, fighters at 9 o'clock.
Hey, did you guys send up an escort?
Absolutely not.
I've got 2 fighters off my left wing.
Where's my note on that?
They ordered them up. We gotta verify where they are in the plane.
Damn it.
Scott, sorry,
Things are a little hectic around here. We do have a note about that. They've been
scrambled out of Shaw Air Force Base to escort and assist.
I don't need an escort. I need information.
It's my fault. I should have told you. This one got past me.
Right, Scott.
Scott? Son of a bitch. I lost him. Well, he thinks I lied to him.
You see those air-to-air sidewinders? You think they're inert?
Nope, they're real.
The fighters have a visual. They see 3 males in the cockpit. No females are visible.
I was wondering when you were going to panic. Everybody else has.
I was just thinking about my dad.
What about him?
When I was 10, he got sick. I used to read to him every day. Newspaper or my science books. And then one day I went to read to him, and I could tell that he didn't want me there. It wasn't anything he said. I could just tell. And I was so hurt because I thought that I didn't read well enough or that he was mad at me.
He wasn't mad.
No. Because then my mother said that. he was getting ready to meet God. And that getting ready to meet God took a lot of work. It meant saying goodbye to things in this world that you love. I forgot about that.
No, you didn't. But you have nothing to prepare for. Because we're not going to die. We're getting out of this. All of us. I just heard from the FBI. And they're planning to rig a special radio circuit. It's going to be the same frequency as your pacemaker, and it's going to fool the sensors in that thing. After we land, I'm going to stay with you until they hook it up, so we can move you out.
That's not your biggest problem. They can't touch this bomb.
They won't. And we'll deal with each event as it occurs. And on that note, tonight I'm taking the 2 bravest women I know to the best, most elegant restaurant in North Carolina. Now, ladies, strap in, because we're landing.
He's cute.
Is he? I hadn't noticed.
2886.
They're grounding air traffic all over the country as a precaution. Frequencies are getting quieter and quieter.
Scott Air 50.
Yeah, Scott. Could you put Jerry on the line, please?
Jerry. Hello?
Jerry. We're going to be monitoring this call with the right to cut it off if we're concerned about what you're saying. So please be careful.
Okay.
Patty, what are you doing in D.C.? I wanted you and the kids.
I sent Mother and the kids to Aunt Jessie's, but I had to come here. I couldn't make them listen. Oh, God. Jerry.
It's okay. It's okay, honey.
Well, is it true? The TV, is that thing on the plane?
What are they saying on TV, Patty?
Everything. They say it's some kind of weird bomb that does something electronic. Is it true?
Nah, they still think it's some kind of a hoax. Look, honey, we're just about to land. I can't tell you where. But there's no danger, I promise you. You and the kids are perfectly safe.
What about you?
We're fine. We're fine. We're going to be miles away from this thing, safe and sound. Look, I got to get back to Scott and Doc.
Jerry, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have.
I know. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye. Well, everyone on the ground knows what's going on up here. I don't know how.
Colonel Spencer just arrived.
You need to brief me. I only have the basics.
Spencer, sir.
Excuse us.
Sorry, General Walsh. We've overrun your base.
No problem. Now, I understand the aircraft...
On approach, sir. I'll be here in 10 minutes.
And the situation in the plane?
The terrorist is an American female, Vivian Henry. The FBI feels that they can arrest her without incident. Deadly force has been authorized.
What is the plan to separate her from the weapon?
Analyze, duplicate the radio signal from the pacemaker. Once we've done that, we go to work on the bomb.
Colonel, I was told that a C-141 was inbound from Charleston. It hasn't arrived yet.
I've been ordered to keep the C-141 in the holding pattern over Charleston, sir.
Why? I thought dumping it at sea was a presidential mandate if you can't defuse it in time.
My orders, sir, are to defuse and preserve that bomb. We're on the same team here. Both take orders from the Pentagon.
I take my orders from the President of the United States.
Can't be responsible for mind reading some political hack in the White House. On this mission, my direct commander is General Billings of Air Staff. And my orders are clear. That bomb will not leave this base.
We've lost it to the Pentagon. Colonel Spencer is in command.
I know him.
What about him? Trust me, we're probably screwed. Scott, I'm handing you over to Seymour. The Pentagon's man is a Colonel Spencer. They've been briefed on all your concerns.
What about these guys?
They're, military.
I got you.
Good luck, Scott. I'll be monitoring.
This is the captain, Scott Air 50. I need to speak to the mission commander.
It's Colonel Spencer, Captain.
Colonel, has the FBI briefed you on my concerns about the weapon?
Yes, they have, Captain. We have it under control.
Did they tell you that this device cannot be treated like a military nuke in terms of emergency disposal?
We have nuclear experts here, Captain, and they'll call the shots.
Colonel, I want your personal assurance that there will be no attempt to defuse or explode this weapon's trigger. If I don't get it, I don't land.
Captain, you have my assurance. We have a C-141 right here on the deck, standing by to fly the bomb out.
Roger. We'll be on the runway in a moment.
All right, people, let's get ready.
You trust him?
Nope.
Okay. Gear down.
Must have damaged the gear back at PAX.
What's the worst case?
Collapse during landing. Trouble steering. It's probably safe. It could be the micro switch.
All right, we're gonna go for it. I'll favor the right side, prepare for collapse. Brace yourselves back there.
Right main. Left main.
He's down.
Seymour ground, Scott Air 50. I'm gonna remain here a few minutes until I sort something out. Until you follow me. I want to speak to Colonel Spencer.
Roger, Spencer here.
Colonel, where exactly do you intend on parking us?
Scott Air, we've got a spot prepared for you on the west side of the field.
Yep, we called it. Colonel, you don't go into a hot area unless you're planning on defusing explosives.
Let's go, Captain. We're time critical here.
You guaranteed me there would be no attempt to tamper with this weapon.
I said we'd do all we can to defuse it, Captain.
The hell you did. You told me there would be no attempt to defuse this thing.
Not your call, Scott Air. It's ours.
Where's the C-141? I don't see it on the base.
He's inbound. He'll be here in a few minutes.
You told me that he was on the ground standing by.
Sorry, Scott Air. There's a lot of stuff piling up here. I got ahead of myself. Now, please follow the truck so we can get on with it.
Scott.
Captain, I'm sure I don't have to remind you that your aircraft and all persons in it are jurisdiction of the federal government. You will follow my instructions, and you will do so immediately.
Scotty.
This guy doesn't get it.
God help us if they haven't been listening.
If? Captain, I understand the woman is not in the cockpit and cannot hear. If that is wrong, flash your landing lights.
She is not in the cockpit and she cannot hear.
What's going on up there?
They're fixated on Vivian being a terrorist.
When you are parked, open your forward left door. A team will come aboard and take her into custody.
No, sir. Until the doors are open and the engines are shut down, I am in command of this aircraft.
Go!
Damn it, Captain. I'm ordering you to start taxiing now. Get that crate over to the hot zone.
Tell those vehicles to stop heading towards us immediately.
Way to go. Colonel, if you lean on this guy, he's gonna bolt.
Where's he gonna go, General? We got him.
Well, you heard it. They'll promise us anything, and when they get us out of here, they're going to put Vivian in chains, and they're going to poke around that thing trying to get into the bomb casing.
Scott.
Jerry, we all do, but we
No, there are no buts, Scott. These people know what they're doing. No, I trust them. I want out.
After what you just heard,
You got a better idea, Scotty?
any idea is better than letting them toy around with that thing. Don't you see what they're doing? It's insane. They just want to study it so they can make more of them. And they're going to end up incinerating us and this entire city.
We're gonna be long gone, Scotty.
How far, Jer? 10 feet, 10 miles, 100? Don't you see if that thing goes, it ain't going to make a bit of difference.
We're wasting time here, Captain. If you fail to comply, we are going to indict you all for felony obstruction of justice, harboring a felon, air piracy, terrorism. Move it now, or you will become a permanent resident of Leavenworth.
This is unbelievable. They're going to create a nuclear disaster.
What's going on? Vivian, they're gonna try to defuse the bomb.
What's the alternative?
Time to think this through. Not here, not under this pressure when we know the end result.
Okay, we're going to lower the stairs. You, Jerry, and Doc just get out of here. And I'm going to fly this to another airfield.
Oh, Scott, that dog won't hunt. Jerry, you go out with Linda.
Forget the stairs. They'll be all over us. Let's just get out of here.
Jerry, we got to take charge. If we have to fly it out safely ourselves.
Fine, enough talk. Let's do it. Before I change my mind.
Seymour Tower, we're going to taxi up the apron to the parking site. Please clear your field. Until you follow me, we'll meet him at the midfield turnoff.
Back off all units.
They'll be confused. It'll take them a few minutes to sort it out. Flaps 5?
Flaps 5.
It's too easy. Scott, I know what you're thinking. Give us some time to work it out.
Hey, you know you did the best you could, Tony.
next penalty?
What about those guys?
Sunburn.
Abort your takeoff! Abort your takeoff! Acknowledge!
Lose him.
B1. BR. Positive rate.
Fire, sir!
No. Hold your fire. No one is to fire on that aircraft.
Time on the bomb is 1 hour, 22 minutes.
Out there on the remote.
Yeah, got it.
The pilot of the 737 just hijacked his own plane.
What's your source?
Somebody down in Seymour. The military's just going nuts. They lost contact with him.
How did this happen?
Colonel Spencer came on like a stormtrooper, declaring his intention to arrest the Henry woman and everyone on the plane. Then they wrote over the captain's concerns about blowing the trigger, and finally, Spencer lied to the pilot about the C-141.
How's that?
Colonel Spencer gave orders to keep it circling.
So when the pilot did not see the C-141 on the ground, he took off.
He took off. We got word from General Walsh in charge of Seymour. He was very upset.
He was upset?
Yes, sir, and he felt you should know. The colonel had no intention of keeping the C-141 option open, despite your orders.
They're out of control, Mr. President. They lie and manipulate.
All right, gentlemen. Let us be even and direct. You are looking at your worst nightmare, and I am looking at mine. First, on direct order from the Commander-in-Chief, Colonel Spencer is relieved of command and is recommended for court-martial immediately. Second, I want the resignation of each and every officer down the chain of command that disobeyed my C-141 order. And finally, General Alton, you are a disgrace. Whether you gave the order personally or allowed someone under you to take the fall, you are responsible. Consequently, you are relieved of command effective immediately, and I am personally recommending your court-martial for insubordination. Clear the room! General, those papers are the property of the United States government, which you no longer serve. What options are open to us?
We're trying to reach the 737, but he's not responding. We believe he's flying at a low altitude and was last spotted heading east towards the Atlantic.
The USS Eisenhower is also in the area, and they're trying to contact him, too.
Is he trying to dump it himself?
No, sir. The 737 has a side cargo door. It is almost impossible to open in flight. They can't jettison cargo if they can't open the door.
Where's he going?
He's going to die, sir.
I bet those fighters will be after us any minute.
late for that.
Jerry, come here. Look, you're not stuck with us, okay? You find me an airfield near the coast, we'll touch down long enough for you and Linda to get out.
Yeah, well, what about you and Doc?
Well, that depends on you. If you can figure a way to jury-rig this cargo door to open in flight, I'll dump the sucker. Will you look at the door?
No pressure, huh?
Mr. Zeppino, yes, I've got something. These letters from Rogers were mostly garbled and directed at Vivian, but there's a couple here where he talks about the instant trigger.
Go ahead, Doc.
He perfected it, and he built it. If anyone tries to defuse it, this thing creates an instant critical mass. The military can't defeat it by blowing it. Look, you've got to get the president before those cowboys do.
Scott called. Donna, let's go.
It's gonna be okay. We're gonna find an airfield with enough concrete to land, and you and Jerry are gonna get out.
What about you, Doc and Vivian?
There'll be a small window of opportunity for escape.
What are you talking about?
Look, here's the plan. Doc has to fly the plane. We're gonna figure out how to open that cargo door, and we're gonna dump this thing into the sea.
What about Vivian's pacemaker?
Cut it out of me. What? I've been thinking about it. It's doable.
It's out of the question.
No, it's not. Look. That's the pacemaker. It's right beneath the surface of my skin. You have a medical kit on board?
It's minor surgery. I am not a medical doctor.
Vivian, you have a pacemaker because you need it. You can't just cut it out of yourself.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
It only regulates my heartbeat if I have an episode. I'll be fine.
We should try and come up with another option.
Fine. But until we do,
all you have to do is make a surface incision, slide the pacemaker out, and disconnect the wires. Are you squeamish about blood?
no. Yes.
Get over it.
I'm not calling Vivian unless you assure me that she will not be charged with this crime.
You know we can't do that. Your refusal could be considered a criminal act, Dean.
What are you going to do? You're going to lock me up? I'll tell you what, if this thing goes off and she dies falsely accused of the worst air holocaust in human history, I will walk myself into that prison.
I know you blame me for this, Jerry.
I don't blame you. I wish I could. It'd be a lot easier.
Your safety deposit box. Internet password.
There, you got something?
Yeah, maybe. So check this out. Normally, we have to be on the ground to get power to the cargo door. In the air, the door open switch won't work. I may have figured out a way to hotwire the electric motors and pumps, shunt the wiring, and get around the sensing relays, see?
All right, what about airspeed if you do this?
Well, it's a guess. You gotta be going fast enough to tear the door off, but not so fast that the airstream takes the fuselage with it.
Jerry, this is it.
They haven't done anything yet.
Man, it's all here. You will.
Hey, I want off this heap. But But you can't do this alone. You need Doc to fly the plane, and you and I have got to push this thing out.
Let's just get this wiring rigged, okay? And then we'll see what happens.
No, we can't see what happens. We land, and it'll be all over us. You know that. I'm sticking. Scott? I failed the American check.
You're not a pilot, Jer. But you're one hell of an engineer. The best.
You have 15 minutes to establish radio contact. After that, we've lost the window. At that point, your orders are to make sure the 737 doesn't turn back.
Roger that.
I know you as well as you know me. Now, you put something in here. What were you thinking? You always said nobody ever has the nerve to use the number 1. Too simple for you.
Well, Vivian, you figured it out. You're not as dumb as you look. Hooray for you!
Sadly, intelligence doesn't save lives. You're gonna die anyway. See you in hell, Vivian.
Get the medical kit.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Mr. President, it's too late. We have to let the plane go.
Connect me to Scott Air.
What did I tell you? The leader's gesture.
Scott Air 50, are you up on this frequency?
Yes, sir. This is Shark 5 on your left wing.
Your orders are to force us back or shoot us down, correct?
Negative. We have no orders to force you back. There's not enough time, sir. We're not here to interfere. If there's anything... this is pretty lame, sir, but if we can help in any way...
Shark 5, just go ahead and get out of here.
Sir, we have a radio relay on this frequency.
Go ahead.
Scott Air, this is the President calling from London. Do you read?
Did I, win the Super Bowl, sir?
Listen, Scott. I don't want to waste any of your time. I just want you to know that we have positive confirmation now that if we had tried to defuse that device on the ground, there would have been a nuclear detonation.
I'm glad you told me, sir.
We made a terrible mistake and left you out there on your own. I take full responsibility. I'm terribly sorry. Can you tell me what your plans are now?
Well, we're gonna try and get our door open and dump this weapon as far out as we can get it.
What if you can't get the door open? Do you have any parachutes?
Negative, sir. We're gonna get the door open.
That's the spirit, son. I just want you to know that All of us here are praying for all of you there.
Sir, that should include Vivian Henry. She had nothing to do with this.
I understand, son. Good luck. Thank you. And Godspeed.
Thank you, sir. Start to pressurize. Let's lose this rock.
Down to 10,000.
Ready. Ladies, hang on. It's gonna get windy.
9,800. We're almost there.
All I want to know is Vivian going to be safe?
Dean, we just got word it's too late for the plane to turn back. We can't make any changes in their plan. I'm sorry, Dean.
Viv.
Dean?
Viv. Oh, my God.
Don't. I'm okay.
I just wanted to hear your voice. You were always right about Rogers.
I don't want to be right.
He's not winning this one. Dean, I love you.
I love you, baby.
Doc! Doc, where are we at?
We are depressurized. Go ahead. Ready?
Okay, come on, baby.
Gotta be a loose wire. It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Come on, Jack.
What's happening back there? I can't hold her.
Fire! That's the number one! Must have fallen debris!
Number one extinguisher discharge. Still burning. Still burning. Going through. Fire's up! Number one engine's gone. 20 minutes to detonation.
Okay! Let's start tossing some of this stuff out of here!
Do it.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a shot of morphine.
No. I have to be alert. Metal casing of the pacemaker is a guide.
You ready? Here we go.
Slide the pacemaker out. Okay. Disconnect the wires. Be sure you don't pull on them. The other end's attached to my heart. Oh, God. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. I've got it. All right. Tuck the wires back in the incision. Okay. Okay.
They jettisoned no explosion.
Thank God.
How'd they get the door open?
Determination.
We're not out of the woods. It could be ticking underwater.
Assume it is. We'll know in 9 minutes.
Morphine's working. In bad shape.
Right wing feels heavy.
Oh, geez. We got a fuel leak. We must have damaged the left wing of the jettison. I'll feed what's remaining into the right main. 0 on the left, 2,000 on the right.
What are you talking about?
Fuel by the 1,000 pounds.
What do we need?
Well, we got 2. We need better than 5. We're not making it back to land. That means we're in a ditch situation. Go get those life jackets from behind the seat. Let's go! Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is Scott Air 50 declaring an emergency. Mayday, mayday. Opens its flight on a 737. What's the point of having parachutes?
I've tried everything. Trim won't move.
Let me feel it.
It's hydraulic.
Way to go, Captain Kirk.
The best thing you ever did was load my stuff on this plane. I have parachutes, signaling devices, a radio transmitter, and flares. Nero loaded us down with this stuff, and we never used it in Antarctica.
Oh, you beautiful woman.
The problem is I only have 4.
That's not a problem. We can do this, especially over water. I'll strap Jerry in with me.
How high?
At least 2,000 feet. Look, go get your gear on. Help Vivian with hers, okay?
Okay.
50 seconds to detonation.
Good God in heaven.
Lost all generators. Battery's failing too. Voltage is all over the map. I can't get the generator to reset. I'm opening the crossfeed. The feed panel must be fused. Got her trim set to fly by herself for a little while. Let's get out of here. All right. Get your gear on. Get off this bird. The turbine blades! They must have punctured the cabin when engine 1 came apart! We've got an empty tank back there! Forget it! We're out of time and we're out of fuel! Now get your gear on and help me with Jerry!
You get us back up? We're working on it. I thought you guys were hard. So did we.
Okay! Go out together! Alright, now move to the edge of the plane! Now this is your D-ring! Put your right hand on it! That fire's spreading! Okay, after we jump, 5 seconds! 5 seconds, you pull it, okay? All right, we're stalling. We gotta go now! Ready? 1,
Somebody give her a hand.
They just picked up a garbled message from the SS Eisenhower. The 737 exploded 45 minutes ago.
Could they have survived?
No way, Tony.
Yeah, let's do that.
care, huh?
You too.
Hang in there, Jer. Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
Scott! Tony DeStefano, FBI.
What are you doing out here?
I wanted to see you for myself.
Good job. You too, man. You're one hell of a pilot, kid.
Dash.
You owe me dinner.
Let's get this one. Sure.
Put the rest of the box in first, all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Just take it. All of it.
Yeah.
Hey, Viv. What do you think? You got any interest in this? FBI says we can keep whatever we want. It's in good shape.
You know what? I don't ever want to see it again in my life.
Yeah, I don't either.
This Sunday,
Hey, you!
Tim Allen's getting into the spirit the only way he can.
You killed him.
Did not.
By accident. Hang on, because the biggest holiday comedy is here.
You're the new Santa. What? You put on the suit, you're the big guy.
You put on a little weight. Does this look like a little weight to you?
The Wonderful World of Disney presents Tim Allen.
We go straight on this road and we hit I-94.
The Santa Claus, ABC